Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
All right, we will go on the record in the matters 24 CF 50, 24 CF 121, and I believe I am calling 24 CF 143 a Buffalo County case as well. State of Wisconsin versus Adam Evans, Buffalo County and Burnett County cases. We're set today in this matter for a plea hearing. The parties have reached an agreement. Mr. Chapman appears in person with his counsel, Mr. Evans in custody in person. We have the state through District Attorney Kevin Schmidt. We're in victims' rights compliance. Mr. Chapman, please put the agreement on the record, even as it relates to Buffalo County.
Your Honor, Mr. Evans will be pleading to 3 counts in 24 CF 50. He'll be pleading to count 2, burglary as party to a crime. He'll be pleading to operating a motor vehicle without owner's consent in count 1, and he'll be pleading to a second added count of operating a motor vehicle without owner's consent for the second vehicle. The parties will be requesting a PSI. Every other charge, including the Buffalo County matter, will be dismissed and read in. The parties will be requesting a PSI, and at sentencing, the state will be capped in its recommendation at 6 years of confinement. The defense is free to argue.
Okay, 6 years confinement capped for state, free to argue defense. And then we're adding another count, so that would be count 7, an additional operating without owner's consent take and drive, class H felony.
It won't be take and drive, Judge, it'll be operate.
Oh, operating. Okay, so then what is the statute for that? Is it different?
No, it's 943.23 sub 3. I think there's a different penalty statute for take and drive.
Okay, so, well, as it's listed on mine, it says take and drive vehicle without consent.
It's the class I felony. That's
Yes.
the important part.
Yeah.
So then we have to amend count 1.
Yes.
All right. So then we're amending count 1 to an I felony. We are adding count 6, the same, an I felony. And he's pleading to count 2 as is burglary and F felony. And because we're reading in Buffalo County 24 CF 143, which is or appears to be based upon the criminal complaint as well as the charges, count 1, possession with intent, methamphetamine, greater than 10 but less than 50, a class D felony, and count 2, felony bail jumping, and H felony. Mr. Schmidt, please provide why this is in the public interest.
I did tell Buffalo County, you've seen from the complaint that basically they stopped a vehicle for speeding 12 over and they found about 16 grams of methamphetamine, some unused baggies. They did not find a large amount of cash. They did not find a scale. They did not search anyone's phones. They charged as possession with intent. I told Buffalo County, if they do consolidate this here, I would not have charged this as possession with intent on this. And I don't plan on arguing as such, which is why I'm fine with consolidating and reading it in. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Okay. I usually have jury instructions with you. Okay, but you did provide another sheet, which does have elements as well as with the amended down to the class I. We're in victims' rights compliance for all of this.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Evans, this is the agreement that you've reached with the state. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So I have in front of me a plea questionnaire waiver of rights form. Did your attorney go over that form with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did he go over it thoroughly with you? And that is essentially word for word.
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand everything on that document?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that your signature on the second page?
Yes, ma'am.
So you understand everything on the document, but if there was something that you weren't quite sure of, did you ask your attorney to explain it until you did understand it?
Yeah.
Okay. You're pleading guilty to 1 count of burglary as a party to a crime, a Class F felony, and 2 counts of operating motor vehicle without owner's consent, 2 Class I felonies. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Schmidt, formal motion to amend count 1 and to add count 6 for operating a motor vehicle without owner's consent.
So made.
Granted.
I think it's count 7.
Oh, count 7. Sorry, it is count 7. Thank you. Count 7. You're 37 years old. You have 11 years of schooling. You can read, write. You understand the English language. Is that all correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You are receiving treatment for mental illness and disorder, and you've had some type of medications, but no other drugs or alcohol in the last 24 hours. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What mental illnesses or disorders?
Just anxiety. Can't sleep at night in here.
You can't sleep. And so that's been diagnosed while you've been in custody.
I guess they give me medication for it, so yeah.
Do you know what kind of medication you take?
I can't think of the name of it right now.
That's fine, but does it make you feel like you're not able to understand things or you can't comprehend things?
No, ma'am.
Does it make you feel like you're woozy and you're not in a place where you can think properly?
No, ma'am.
And so right now, are you in a position where you can, you're able to comprehend, you're able to understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, attached to the plea questionnaire, there is a document provided by your attorney, and it has the elements that of the crime that the state must prove, as well as the maximum possible penalties you face for each of these 3 felonies. Did your attorney thoroughly go over those with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that completely?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you're charged with crimes, you are entitled to constitutional rights. Each of those rights is listed on the first page of that plea questionnaire. Did your attorney thoroughly go over those rights with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand them completely?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that by pleading guilty, you're waiving and giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
To understand that you're no longer going to have the right to a trial,
Yes, ma'am.
you're no longer going to have the right to have your attorney cross-examine the state's witnesses or call witnesses to testify for you. You're no longer going to be able to testify on your own behalf or remain silent and not have your silence used against you. You're no longer going to have the right to have that jury trial in which 12 of your peers would need to reach a unanimous decision as to a guilty verdict or find you not guilty. And you will no longer have the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand all of those rights you're giving up here today?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a citizen of the United States, your plea could result in your deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that if you're pleading guilty to felonies, as such, you will no longer be able to use or possess a firearm for life?
Yes, ma'am.
You will no longer be able to vote in any election until your civil rights are restored.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, with regards to these counts, these criminal counts that you're pleading guilty to, do you understand that the state would have to prove on or around, for count 1, the amended count 1, for operating without owner's consent on or around February 19th, 2024 in Burnett County, Wisconsin, you intentionally drove or operated a motor vehicle belonging to another person without that consent of that person, knowing you did not have consent of that person. Do you understand what the state would have to prove?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that upon conviction, you do face a fine of up to $10,000 or 3.5 years of incarceration or both?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand with count 2, burglary of a building or dwelling as a party to a crime, the state would have to prove on or around February 19th, 2024 in Burnett County, Wisconsin, as a party to a crime, you intentionally entered a building, black and orange bar, without the consent of the person in lawful possession of the place and with intent to steal items of value. Do you understand what the state would have to prove?
Yes, ma'am.
This is a Class F felony. So do you understand that upon conviction, you could face a fine of up to $25,000 or imprisonment of up to 12.5 years or both?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that as to the additional count 7, operating, do you understand what it means to be a party to a crime?
Yes, ma'am.
And that either you directly committed the crime yourself, you aided and abetted some other person who is committing the crime, or you conspired with one or more persons to commit the crime and affirmative steps were taken towards the commission of the crime. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, with the additional count 7, the operating without owner's consent, do you understand? Would it be the same around date and time, February 19th?
Yes,
Yes,
Judge.
Okay. So do you understand that the state would have to prove on or around February 19th, 2024, you intentionally drove or operated a motor vehicle belonging to another person, you did not have the consent of that person, and you knew you did not have the consent of that person. Do you understand what the state would have to prove?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that the maximum possible penalty could be a fine of up to $10,000 or 3.5 years of incarceration for both?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you also understand that here the parties, yourself and the state, you've reached an agreement, and it's been recited on the record, whereas the state is capped at its recommendation of 6 years of confinement, but the defense is free to argue. Do you understand that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand I'm not bound to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that I could, if I believe in the totality of the circumstances and looking at all of these, the crimes that have been dismissed and read in, including the Buffalo County crime, that if I thought that the maximum possible penalty should be sentenced here, I could do that. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you still wish to proceed and enter a guilty plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, did you go over the criminal complaint with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
In particular, there's that section, it's called the probable cause section, where it basically says what happened that day and why you were charged with the crimes. Do you remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm not going to have you say that every single fact in there is accurate, but for the most part, are those facts accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
Your
you
Honor,
pleading-
I just want to clarify as far as the factual basis that Mr. Evans denies that he was the one who actually went to the house and stole the vehicles and other stuff regarding counts 1 and 7, but he was definitely involved in moving the vehicles after the fact and disposing of them when they were scrapped. So,
He knew that they were not, they didn't have permission to have those vehicles and operate them.
yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you for that. So are you pleading guilty based upon the facts as stated by your attorney, and the facts that you believe are accurate in the probable cause statement? Are you pleading guilty to the both counts of operating a motor vehicle without owner's consent because you are guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty to the burglary as a party to a crime because you are guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Has anyone made any threats or any promises to you for you to plead guilty to these charges?
No, ma'am.
You're doing so freely and intelligently. That means you're telling the court you fully understand what you're doing
Yes, ma'am.
and voluntarily.
Yes, ma'am.
Has your attorney represented you competently?
Yes, ma'am.
Has he answered all of your questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Has he looked at this matter thoroughly?
Yes, ma'am.
Has he looked at the discovery and the evidence and discussed it with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Has he discussed with you a potential for any legal defenses or a lack of defenses?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you discussed with him all that you know to exist about this case?
Yes, ma'am.
And that would include any defenses that you believe that you have
Yes, ma'am.
and any alibis that you believe that you have,
Yes, ma'am.
or any other people, co-defendants, other people who weren't charged that may be culpable.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chapman, did you thoroughly go over the facts that are alleged along with the facts that you stipulate to with Mr. Evans, with what the state would have to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you go over all of the potential defenses that you believe exist or a lack of defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you go over what it would mean if this matter goes to trial or if the matter is resolved with a resolution?
Yes, I did.
All right. Do you believe he's entering his plea freely and intelligently and voluntarily?
Yes, he is.
Do you believe he's competent to do so?
He is.
Do you believe he fully understands the rights that he's giving up here today?
Yes, he does.
All right. Are you satisfied with your attorney's services?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions for the court or for your attorney before I proceed?
No, ma'am.
And as to count 1, burglary of a building or dwelling as a party to a crime, a class F felony, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
As to count 1 now, that was count 1 is operating motor vehicle without owner's consent. The amended count, a class I felony, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
As to the added count 7, operating a motor vehicle without owner's consent, a class I felony, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
The court will find your pleas of guilt are done knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily. I'm going to find that you understand your constitutional rights and what it means to waive and give up those rights. I'm going to find a factual basis to accept your pleas of guilt. Based on that, I will find you guilty of those 3 counts. The other counts in this case and the Buffalo County case 24 CF 143 will be dismissed and read in for purposes of sentencing. A judgment of conviction will be entered today. The court is going to order a pre-sentence investigation report. Long form agent does not need to appear, but should be readily available in case any questions arise. Court is now going to revoke bond. We are going to set this matter for sentencing. And just so I'm on the understanding, you're entering your pleas freely, intelligently, and voluntarily,
Yes, ma'am.
and you'll fully understand all of the elements the state would have to prove, as well as the maximum possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
I can do June 2nd.
What
All
day?
right. What?
What day?
June 2nd.
Oh, okay.
All right. If there's nothing further, then we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
I didn't steal the cars, I just drove them to the scrap. 12 over the limit, drove right into a trap. 16 grams of sorrow, heart ready to fail. Now my anxiety is peaking in the Burnett County jail. So how do you plead to the burglary, son? I said joking, but no one else was having fun. 6 years in the pokey isn't funny at all. I'm giving up the fight. Give me some meds so I can sleep tonight.